officially your first match in the new job as head coach of this men's team. And I guess I'll start with, are you going to have all your Socceroos available? Jamie, Matt Leckie and Marco Tilio?
Yeah, so they are all back. Marco trained with us twice so far. Jamie and Leckie trained once. So we're going to see how they respond today, and then we'll see how they are for tomorrow. So we're not going to announce the squad until tomorrow sometimes, when they all wake up and we see where they are and how many minutes will sports science recommend for them, and then we'll go from there.
Are you inclined?
Sorry, they'll all travel though, Rado?
Yeah, we're going to be, yes. Unless someone comes sick or ill today, but at the moment we are hoping that they all can travel and then just decide on the minutes.
Perfect.
Are you inclined to be cautious with someone like Leckie, Rado, given that he's played an absolute ton of football? He did a massive amount of running with such short turnarounds in the Qatari heat. Are you inclined to be cautious bringing somebody like him back into the squad?
Yeah, there was a lot of obviously conversation about him, especially about him, because obviously I think he played 4 games in 11 days or so. So, apparently it wasn't that hot over there. You should know, you were there, huh?
It was hot during the day.
Yeah, so we'll see how he is, and then obviously we can't afford to push him, and risk the injury. That's not in our nature. But we'll see how he responds. After yesterday's training and today's training, and tomorrow will be obviously the key day when we're gonna have a good chat with him and see how he feels. Is he ready to start? Is that better for him to have a warm-up and start, or is it better to bring him on later in the game? So all those little things we will decide tomorrow.
And looking at the other ins and outs of your squad, Rado, Florent Berenier is listed as being unavailable still with his hamstring malady. What's his progression in his recovery from that?
He's doing really well. He's still doing individual work. Next week he's going to start to be joining with the team in less complex practices, and then hopefully in 2 or 3 weeks he can join the team in full capacity. And then the only thing that's going to be missing is match fitness. So then we need to slowly integrate him in the team, and hopefully he's going to be contributing at the business end of the season.
How's it all been, Rado? You've had, 3-4 weeks basically in charge of this team now. How's it all coming together? Was it just sort of pick up where Patrick left off, or have you changed anything? How's it been for you?
Look, we could not change too many things. We put an emphasis on different principles. That has been used in past. Maybe zoomed in on few things that maybe were not executed at the best possible level. But more or less, we're going to continue where Patrick left, especially when we had 3 key players missing for such a big period of time when I was here. But yeah, we've changed different practices. We maybe increased a little bit of intensity because we had an opportunity to do that, because without any games. So, players worked really hard the last 3 weeks, and now we hope that, we're going to see some benefits from it.
You were preparing for a 20-game season or 18-game season with the A-League women's side. You get that pre-season. Obviously, you don't coach that first week. You don't travel to Wellington. You become the men's coach not long after that in the interim. It's almost like you kind of get like another pre-season, that World Cup break, and then you're preparing for a 20-game squad again. Like, what's that experience like?
When you look at men's pre-season, it's like 15, 16 weeks. So, I only had 3. So it's less than what you have in European leagues usually. But look, I mean, the team has been flying. The team has been doing really well. The team has been winning games. The team is top of the table. There's a lot of confidence, around the place. So don't change something that's not broken, basically, and just continue with what Patrick and the boys before him, did. So it's just a continuation. It's can we evolve some other things that maybe there is potential for more evolution in those principles, and that's basically all what we are doing.
This isn't the first time that you've taken over a men's job. Why? Does the experience ever get easier? Or do you take the lessons from your time at Brisbane, or is it a new challenge to just approach?
Look, every club, every team has had, you need to take it with different approach, of course. Obviously, with Brisbane, I was there as an assistant coach. When team was doing really well, a lot of players were keen to leave the club, but they couldn't because they were still under contract. That was the problem over there. Here, everyone is under contract. No one wants to leave the club. Everyone is keen to be successful at this club. So it's completely different dynamic. This club is very ambitious. And ambition is driving environment. So, this is fantastic for me to come in. And I think for everyone that is here, it's so ambitious, driven. So, can't complain.
Rado, you're the interim head coach of the men's team. Can you put your hat in the ring for the full-time job? Can you go for it full-time?
Look, it all depends how we go, obviously everyone is here listening, watching training session, listening to my pre-match talks or training talks, so you're being judged every day. And then obviously if club is happy and more important, if players are happy with, with what we are doing, that will probably determine, how does the rest of the season go, and then obviously the future.
Dario, no, it's not Dario. I'm thinking of your son, Rado.
Not the first time, Joey. Not the first time.
Rado, I feel like this is a question going to be asked of everybody heading into this weekend. Obviously, there's a ton of momentum around Australian football at the moment. People have fallen in love with the Socceroos. Your boys will be joining Redmayne for a signing this weekend up there in Sydney. How do you think the A-Leagues and the A-League men competition capitalises on this groundswell of support and really converts it into bums on seats and viewers of streams and of the television?
Look, I think this is fantastic to have the derby, Melbourne City and Sydney derby as one of the first games after the World Cup. I think it's fantastic. So hopefully it's going to be a full stadium or near capacity stadium. A lot of people will come to support, Sydney and us and obviously the Socceroos. And then hopefully we can produce a good, memorable game for all of them. Regardless of the result. Hopefully that could be, tomorrow night. Or not just tomorrow night, but for every game that is going to be played this weekend. I think every club is desperate to get back and start playing again because this was very unusual for A-League not to have the games for so long in the middle of the season. And then all we need is more supporters to come and come and support us. I think that's the key. I think the football in the league is quality. Not just in men's, but also in women's. I think we have got a good product. APL has done a fantastic job. A-Leagues are now flying high, and there's we are getting back international players. So it's everything is there in place now. We just need the supporters to come and support us more, and that is actually in our hands. We need to perform well. And we need to bring them in, and we need to keep them in.
How do you do that against Sydney, Rado?
They're one of the better teams in the A-League's history, and they've always been up there. I mean, they got stable coaching structure. Steve Corica has been with them for many years, and they got a great team this season. So it's going to be a difficult game for us, and obviously they are at home. But I think the pressure is more on them. They need to deal with us, and they need to win the game. So there's more pressure on them. We do have a little bit of tactical applications, what we're going to try to implement and see if that works. And if it works, then it's going to be a very interesting game.
Just one more from me. I touched on just a little bit before, this isn't the first time you've gone from that assistant coach into that caretaker role. Obviously Dario come from the assistant coach, he's in the caretaker role now. Is there any advice that you've been able to give him based on your personal experience to maybe help him through his journey with the women's side?
Well, we are living together, so we are talking every day, and we are bouncing ideas. He's a very talented coach, to be at such an early stage of your coaching career, to be able to coach in a professional environment, I think it's fantastic for him. He has really excelled with responsibility since he took over. Obviously, there will always be issues with players. Not everyone can play. You need to explain to people why you made this decision and so on. So that is maybe a challenge for him now and in the future games. But I think he's with his playing experience, he's got a lot to offer to players. And what I hear so far, that they are enjoying his coaching style, and you can see in the results, probably one of the best starts for A-League women's team, apart from maybe for the first year. We never had 2 wins in first 2 games. So.
Well, I guess how proud are you of him? Being able to get this opportunity and essentially taking it with both hands.
Oh, look, when you are in this business, you always expect to, get better job, like Patrick did. Although you are coaching, currently the best team in the country, you're winning everything, you got most talented team in front of you. There's always ambition, and that's what I said. This club and these players are very ambitious, and then it is much easier to be to be supporting them. That's one thing that we are trying to establish now, is to give them more responsibility on the field, give them more responsibility in decision making. So slowly put the onus on them to drive that culture on the field.